This is America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. What makes America so great? Is it the spacious skies, the amber waves of grain, or the purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain? No, it's the rule of law. Laws are fun, and they're to keep you safe. By the way, I was very popular in high school. But seriously, you only need to look at China to see what it looks like when a country has no rule of law. Nevertheless, over America's 200-plus year history, there have been some pretty silly laws put on the books. So today, I'll go over one for each of the 50 states. Wait, Shelley, there are 50 states? Are you kidding me? New York, California, Florida, what else is there? Wow. Well, you'll also know all 50 states by the end of this episode, so consider that an added bonus. You're welcome. Alabama. I know the robes are stylish, but in Alabama, it's illegal to impersonate the clergy. The misdemeanor could cost you a $500 fine or jail time. Alaska. In Alaska, if you are drunk, you are not allowed to be in a bar. Seriously, it's also illegal to sell alcohol to a drunk person in a bar. And yes, this is enforced. Arizona. You are not allowed to feed a pig garbage unless you have a permit. However, there is an exception. If it's your own garbage and your own pig, then it's kosher. Well, not quite kosher. Arkansas. In Little Rock, no person shall sound the horn on a vehicle at any place where cold drinks or sandwiches are served after 9 p.m. I'm more concerned about the kind of scum eating sandwiches after 9. California. Okay, how do you choose? But I'm going to go with this one. You're allowed to own as many frogs as you want to use in frog jumping contests, obviously. But if one dies, you are not allowed to eat it. Colorado. Don't touch the boulders in Boulder, Colorado, because it's illegal there to roll, throw, or otherwise move any rocks or boulders on any public property. This kid's going to jail. Connecticut. Silly string isn't so silly in Southington, Connecticut. It's illegal to use the stuff in public. Violators face a $99 fine, which I think is just silly. Delaware. Who doesn't love a good old tailgate party? The people of Fenwick Island, Delaware. Tailgate parties there are against the law, between midnight and 6 in the morning. And honestly, what kind of sick freak tailgates at that time? Florida. Bet you didn't know these signs could be a legal contract. In Florida, if someone sneaks onto your property and your dog bites them, you are liable. Unless you have a sign up that has the words, "Bad Dog." But considering all the strange things Florida man gets up to, maybe more things should be illegal in Florida. Georgia. Like fried chicken? Be sure to eat it with your hands. Because in Gainesville, it's illegal to eat it with a fork. Yes, that 91-year-old woman got a citation for eating fried chicken with a fork. But the mayor was there to pardon her. You see, it's apparently a real law on the books, but it was kind of a joke to get publicity for the town. You know, that's what the law is there for, to be a joke. For example, "Officer, I'm merely stealing this bag of money as a publicity stunt." I'm just kidding. Who carries money in a burlap sack? Hawaii. Up until 2014, you weren't allowed to have more than one drink in front of you at a time. But that was repealed because the concern was it would make people finish their drinks too quickly. You are still technically not allowed to drink on the beach. And no, taking a few steps into the ocean does not make it okay. Idaho. Oh, come on, Shelley, you're trying to tell me Idaho is a real state? Okay, whatever. In Rexburg, Idaho, you're not allowed to throw a snowball at someone. In fact, the law says you're not allowed to throw any stone, stick, snowball, egg, bomb, missile, or other substance. Man, it just sounds made up. Idaho. Illinois. Your mama was right about cheese shops. These may look like pillows, but don't you fall asleep. In Illinois, it's illegal to fall asleep in any workroom of a bake shop, kitchen, dining room, confectionery, creamery, cheese factory, or any place where food is prepared for sale, served, or sold. Which is too bad, because sleeping is exactly what I want to do after eating a lot of cheese. Indiana. Like fishing? Don't use a gun. At least in Indiana. And yes, dynamite is not allowed either. Now, those are 2 out of 3 of my top favorite ways to fish. At least I can still fish with my bare hands. What's that, Shelley? That's outlawed too? So without guns, dynamite, or your hands, how do you even fish? Iowa. Can't believe it's not butter? I can. And so do the good people of Iowa, who have made it illegal to use the word butter anywhere near imitation butter. It can be sold only under the name of oleomargarine. Iowans are serious about their butter. I mean, this is the state that produced life-size butter sculptures of Kevin Costner. Kansas. In Wichita, this little girl is committing a crime. Playing in public fountains is not allowed. Kentucky. Dyeing chicks is a cruel and disgusting practice, and it's illegal to sell them in Kentucky. Unless you're selling more than 6 at a time, then it's fine. Louisiana. Ever prank order a pizza for someone who didn't want it? It's illegal in Louisiana, and it could cost you $500 or 6 months in jail. You'd better pay that fine. You do not want to know what they do to you in jail for prank ordering pizza. Maine. This may not surprise you, but the United States doesn't have a great history in terms of how the indigenous people were treated. What is odd is that in Maine, there's a law still on the books that says shotguns are required to be taken to church in the event of a Native American attack. The original law doesn't use the term Native American. Maryland. Road rage? It's illegal to swear while driving in Maryland, so keep it under control. Massachusetts. Candy. Sweet candy. You can add as much sugar as you want, but it can't have more than 1% alcohol. Michigan. Riding a train in Michigan? Better not be drunk. That's illegal. Save it for another state, pal. Minnesota. There's a statute on greased pig contests and turkey scrambles. It says there shall be no games in which a pig, greased, oiled, or otherwise, is released and wherein the object is the capture of the pig, or in which a chicken or turkey is released or thrown into the air and wherein the object is the capture of the chicken or turkey. But what if you grease up a turkey or throw a pig in the air? Loophole. Mississippi. According to this law, if you gain carnal knowledge of any woman by saying you're going to marry her when you don't intend to, you could find yourself walking down the aisle to jail for 5 years. Missouri. In the city of Jefferson, they've got a lot of laws regulating garage sales. You can't have more than 2 a year. You can't have one between 8 p.m. and 7 a.m. And no garage sale may last more than 3 days in a row. I mean, come on, midnight garage sales are as American as apple pie. Montana. In Montana, if you're performing on stage at a place that serves alcohol, you cannot leave the stage until your performance is done. No calling it quits halfway through. I'm looking at you, Kanye. In fact, there was a case about it in 1991. Seems a police officer was observing an erotic male dancer at a club. After he finished watching, the officer left, reviewed the relevant laws, and returned an hour later to arrest the man. One of the charges? He did not remain on a platform or within an exclusive area while performing. That's some fine police work, sir. Nebraska. In Nebraska, it's liquor before beer, never fear. Beer that mixes liquor, you're going to jail. Nevada. In Ico, Nevada, you are required by law to wear a mask. Not that kind of mask. This kind of mask. Apparently the law dates back to 1918, during the Great Flu pandemic that killed 50 to 100 million people. This was one way local authorities tried to cope with it, and apparently the law was never taken off the books. Other than that, it's hard to find anything that's illegal in Nevada. New Hampshire. Who doesn't love a picnic in a cemetery? Well, get your kicks in some other state, pal, because that's not allowed in New Hampshire. New Jersey. This is a criminal act in New Jersey. New Jersey is the last state that will not allow people to pump their own gas. And get this, a poll found almost 3/4 of the state's residents preferred to have gas pumped for them, and that 84% of women preferred the service. New Mexico. It's a petty misdemeanor to improperly use the national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, or the state anthem, O Fair New Mexico. I guess they've never seen the Naked Gun. New York. Believe it or not, New York recently created a specific law to ban selfies with big cats. A big cat is any live species of lion, tiger, leopard, with the exception of clouded leopards, jaguar, mountain lion, sometimes called cougar, or any hybrid of such species. Wait, so this is okay because they're clouded leopards instead of regular leopards? Laws are so biased. Anyway, is taking selfies with tigers really such a common thing that there needs to be a law about it? Well, apparently enough people are doing it for their Tinder profile that a Tumblr account has begun documenting it. Swipe left, ladies, unless you like dating criminals. North Carolina. What's there to do for fun in North Carolina? Bingo. And that's why there are strict laws regulating it. According to this law, no bingo session can last more than 5 hours, and you can only hold 2 sessions a week, and they can't be within 48 hours of each other. Bingo games at fairs are an exception, obviously. North Dakota. Apparently in North Dakota, it is still legal to shoot a Native American if you are in a covered wagon. Obviously, this is an outdated law from the 1800s. If you actually tried it today, you'd probably still go to jail for murder. So, let me make it clear. Don't shoot Native Americans, even if you are in a wagon. Ohio. Good news. Ohio is the real-life purge. Okay, that's a slight exaggeration, but according to this law, you can't be arrested on Sundays or the 4th of July. But before you go nuts, this only counts for minor crimes. This follow-up makes it clear you can still be arrested if you commit treason or are on a river. Oklahoma. In Oklahoma, glue can't be made out of skunks, which I hope is not addressing an actual problem they were having. Oregon. In Oregon, you're not allowed to throw poop out of a car. So keep your poop inside the car. Pennsylvania. Wait, I remembered there's a 4th way I like to catch fish. What's that, Shelley? What? In Pennsylvania, you're not allowed to catch a fish with your mouth. How did you know what I was thinking? Rhode Island. Want to know the top speed of your horse? Well, in Rhode Island, that's illegal. So much for my horse-powered time machine, it needs to get up to 88 miles per hour. South Carolina. Like a good game of pinball? Better be over 18 years of age, otherwise it's illegal. South Dakota. No, nothing's wrong with your screen. I'm just breaking the law in South Dakota. You're not allowed to create static, except for after 11 p.m. Tennessee. Want to share a friend's Netflix? Take it to some other state, pal. Texas. Texas has created a law, no joke, that sets up an agency dedicated to weather control. The deep state Illuminati reptilians are at it again. Utah. If there's a state of emergency, you're not allowed to sell alcohol, which is a shame because that happens to be when most people want it. Vermont. Clotheslines are considered a device that runs on solar power, and no one may restrict the installation of renewable energy technology. Yep, that's high tech. Virginia. Raccoons are considered a nuisance species. You're not allowed to kill most nuisance species before 1 p.m. or after sunsets on Sundays. But with raccoons, you can kill them up to 2 a.m. on Sunday mornings. Talk about biased laws. Washington. At least as of 1984, and I dearly hope this law is still current. In Washington, they have actually made it illegal, a felony in fact, to kill Bigfoot. And yes, the law makes it clear that Bigfoot is interchangeable with Yeti, Sasquatch, and giant hairy ape. West Virginia. If you curse or swear or get drunk in public, you gotta pay $1. West Virginia basically has a state-mandated swear jar. Wisconsin. It's illegal to sell home-baked goods. And if you're a repeat offender, you could get fined $5,000 and spend a year in county jail. Take that, school fundraiser. Finally, justice is served. Wyoming, the last state alphabetically, finally. And in a way, it's very appropriate. If you forget to close that gate behind you, you can be fined $750. And that's 50 weird laws in all 50 states. Which one did you think was the craziest? And did I miss any? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. This is America Uncovered.